A Trump voting civil service worker is now begging the president to hire her back after he was allowed to continue his mass purge of government workers. Now, the executive order, of course, signed by Donald Trump to significantly reduce the federal workforce, has unsurprisingly led to the mass layoffs of probationary employees across various federal agencies. Now, at first, courts had put a temporary freeze on this effort. However, on Thursday, February 13th, 2025, the administration was allowed to continue their purge of agencies like the USDA, who fired their probationary employees, the National Institute of Food and Agriculture, and the Economic Research Service. Now, the exact number of affected employees is currently unclear, but the terminations occurred overnight on February 13th. So, meaning that on Friday morning, workers like Jennifer woke up to sudden unemployment. Surprise! You have no job. In a letter the president posted on social media, Jennifer then laid out her plea. Hello, sir. I am one of the probationary employees terminated by the Doge at 9 p.m. last night, February 14th. I voted for you, sir, 3 times, and I still support you. I was encouraged by the Doge to see they were getting rid of wasteful government spending. I support that too. My termination letter said I was being let go for performance reasons. I know that's not true. I'm an excellent employee. I've been with the federal government for almost 16 years. 16 years in June. I had started my career with the USDA, transferred to DHS, and recently came back to USDA because it's such a great agency to work for. Surely that must count for something in your eyes. I'm loyal, and I firmly believe that the work I do as a USDA APHIS, that's Animal Plant and Health Inspection Service, Plant Protection and Quarantine employee, is vital and important. Well, I do agree with that. My boss, his boss, the managers in neighboring states all agree I'm doing an excellent job and that I'm a great asset to the team. I'm the only, and this was censored for privacy, of course, in the state of Kentucky, and my work here is valued and honorable. Each time I voted for you is because I knew you'd make things right and you'd fix the wrongs. I'm counting on you to make this right too. I'm pleading with you to reinstate my employment and give me my job back. Please, Mr. President, thank you. Now, look, there's a lot here, okay? But let me just start out with the, at this point, customary. Did you not think the leopards were going to come for your face? Hey, that's on you, okay? You voted for this. You voted for Project 2025. We told you what was going to happen while Trump lied to your face and said, oh, no, I don't know anything about Project 2025. I don't like it, though. What I've heard, I didn't like it. I didn't like it, so we're not going to do that. Except that he's pretty much been doing a lot of it. Not all of it, but just about all of it. Now, assuming, of course, this is a real letter, and I don't see why it wouldn't be, okay? Republicans have been saying for decades, yeah, you know what the real problem is? Government, lazy government workers. Their solution, of course, is to dismantle it and privatize it. Now, when Trump talked about, we got to get rid of the administrative state, okay? And his supporters, well, this is exactly what they meant. If you're a government worker, you are the administrative state, okay? And by the way, when they also talk about waste, fraud, and abuse, guess what? That also means you, okay? They're blaming all the waste, fraud, and abuse on civil servants, which again, there's no evidence of widespread waste, fraud, and abuse, okay? Look, people who are just literally working to safeguard our food are the enemy, according to the right wing, okay? So now, look, one of the reasons that they want this, right, the Trump administration is dismantling this administrative state is because corporations do not want oversight. They do not want the inspectors, okay? Why? Why would you not want inspectors? Really? They're going to cut corners. That's the whole point. Cutting corners, not for the sake of cutting corners, but for the sake of saving money, okay? Not so they can give it to the workers, by the way, so they can give it to themselves. That is the ultimate goal here, is to save money, these corporations, so that they can pay themselves more. That's it. That's it. Elon Musk's Doge, the Doge, is not about saving taxpayer money. It is to stop the government from coming after him and his rich friends for violating regulations in the workplace. Okay? That's what they're doing. They're dismantling not only regulations, but just entire regulatory agencies and saying you can't do this. You can't put rules on us. Okay? But there's a reason for these rules. There was a reason that regulations were put there in the first place. It's because companies would consistently violate safety. They would get people killed. They would put out inferior products. They would put out products that were dangerous. And so you had to have rules that were established so that these companies had to take some sort of not only responsibility, but also, oh, maybe I shouldn't put out stuff that kills my customers. I know, you would think that it would be capitalism 101, invisible hand of the free market, but guess what? More often than not, that invisible hand ends up strangling average people. Okay? That's unfortunate, but it's what happens. Okay? That's why you have to have rules. That's why you have to have regulators. Can you have overregulation? Yes, and a great example is when Republicans use overregulation to try to shut down abortion clinics. So, gee, I wonder where they got that idea that there's overregulation. Oh, right, it's because they use it, okay, to try to stop their competition or try to stop things that they don't like, don't agree with. It's all projection with them, okay? Now, look, the less rules, speaking of Elon Musk and these companies, the less rules they have to follow, the more money they make. Okay, so again, it doesn't matter to them if they make dangerous products that catch on fire, which, Teslas have, or when they crash into school children, okay, as long as he can make them more cheaply and then sell them for a substantial profit. That's why they're getting rid of these agencies and the workers that staff them, okay? Not about saving taxpayer money at all. It's not even about getting rid of bad employees, okay? These probationary period employees, it's not that they were underperforming, okay? It's not that they were performing badly. No, the probationary period on government jobs lasts somewhere between 1 to 2 years, okay? And depending on the agency, and it has nothing to do with performance, okay? It's just the amount of time that you're working there. That's it. And so getting rid of these agencies and firing these employees is only about saving rich people money. And look, it's even more obvious when you look at what they're cutting, okay? For example, Department of Energy, right? Which Republicans think, that's the department that makes it so that we can't do more fossil fuels. When in reality, it's more of the department of making sure that our nuclear stockpile is protected, okay? But anyway, they fired people in the Department of Energy anyway, and then some were rehired. But they recently fired between 1,200 and 2,000 employees, including staff from the National Nuclear Security Administration and the Loan Programs Office at the DOE. Department of Veterans Affairs has terminated more than 1,000 employees who are in their probationary period. The U.S. Forest Service, approximately 3,400 employees, which accounted for about 10% of the Forest Service workforces, have been laid off. While public safety roles, such as firefighters, were exempt, thankfully, critical positions related to wildfire prevention, road and trail maintenance, timber production, and watershed restoration were affected, according to Politico. Great. Lovely. Of course, you also have the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which has seen significant terminations, including those beyond probationary employees, just completely gutted. The agency recently fired 73 employees probationary before a new round, according to NPR. Close to 100 term employees. Those with set-length contracts were also let go as part of a mass layoff initiative. The Department of Education, of course, which sent out termination notices to those that were within their probationary period, which is about 60 so far that have been let go. The Small Business Administration, which had dozens of probationary employees getting termination notices on Tuesday, effective immediately, and the General Services Administration, which is responsible for managing federal properties and procurement, recently began terminating their recent hires on Thursday. So all of that, notice how the stuff that he's going after is stuff that basically regulates corporations or manages public assets, which again, they want to break off those public assets and make them private for the gains of certain companies. Okay. It is not about tackling waste, fraud, and abuse. It's about removing civil servants that make government function so that they can privatize some of those services or just do away with regulations completely. And it is worse too than that. Elon Musk recently told the World Government Summit in Dubai, quote, "I think we do need to delete entire agencies as opposed to leave a lot of them behind. If we don't remove the roots of the weed, then it's easy for the weed to grow back." And the weed, of course, he's referring to is agencies like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which got back $21 billion to taxpayers that were defrauded by corporations. Okay, a massive return on public investment, but something that these corporations and people like Elon Musk do not like. It's very obvious what this is about. Sadly, you had people like Jennifer who bought the propaganda hook, line, and sinker, and as a consequence, voted themselves out of a job. Well, congratulations, you effed around, and now you're finding out. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you become a member on our YouTube page, you become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.